There's only one thing I want to talk about this week, and in a surprise twist, it's not the Haunted Mansion bar on the Disney Treasure. Rally the troops because it's finally happening. MuppetVision 3D is closing. Let's all start planning our farewell viewings while I cover the theme park news for the week of November 22nd. What a bummer. Like, I totally expected it, but now here we are. I guess I shouldn't bury the lead. Let's hop straight into headlines. After months of speculation, MuppetVision 3D will be closing to make way for Monstropolis. The new Monsters Inc. land was announced at this year's D23 Parks panel, and rumors that it was going to consume the Muppets courtyard immediately started swirling around. Along with the 3D attraction, Pizza Rizzo and Mama Melrose will also be axed, with the latter becoming Harryhausen's, the new dining restaurant eating place where they sell food to monsters. When asked for comment, a fictional Disney executive said, "What more do we have to do to convince you dumb fans that we hate the Muppets? Do you want us to shoot Gonzo in the face? Because we'll do it. We're Disney, damn it." In happier news, we now know the location of Monstropolis. It's going to be in the soon-to-be former Muppets courtyard. Right there on the corpse of MuppetVision 3D. Oh, you thought Disney was done destroying things you love? They also announced that the Aerosmith Rock and Rollercoaster would be completely rethemed to the Muppets. Specifically the Electric Mayhem? Wait, what? This is amazing news. This is really, really awesome. Disney is taking away something that we love and then replacing it with something we've been asking for? What's the catch? Do we have to pledge to sacrifice a Muppet fan once a year in order to make this happen? I'll do it. It'll be completely random too. I'll just pull a name out of a hat and kick them into a volcano. And then I'll walk right onto a plane down to Florida. I've made my peace with it. Ultimately, it sucks that we'll be losing MuppetVision. It's the last thing that Jim Henson gave to the world, and trust me, there's a huge difference between the Muppets under Jim Henson and the Muppets that we have now. It's not the current Muppets are bad, they're just different. Like when your favorite pizza place falls under new ownership, you still love the pizza. There was just something extra in that sauce that isn't there now. And you still think back and wish that you could taste a new slice with that something special baked into it. I hope the rumors that Disney is working on preserving it somehow are true and not just a bone thrown out to keep Muppet fans from punching Bob Iger. Also, please don't punch Bob Iger. I know, and it's definitely don't tell them I told you to do it. You know what, just please don't punch Bob Iger. But this new retheming, that's really awesome. The Electric Mayhem is such a colossal upgrade, and I'm honestly shocked that they went with it. No date has been announced for the closure of Rock and Rollercoaster, but I'm sure it'll happen sometime next year. Hey, do you like me? Do you like my content? If so, then why don't you go follow me over at Bluesky at Theme Park News. You'll find out when I do new content. And yes, of course, I know it's Blue Sky, but it looks like Bluesky, so that's what I say. Okay, enough plugging. Let's get back to the show. Universal Orlando has dropped the first photos from inside Harry Potter and the Battle at the Ministry. The new marquee ride at the new Wizarding World opening alongside Epic Universe in May. This is another incredible recreation of the Harry Potter universe, bringing to life the Ministry of Magic. It's exactly what they promised us in all the concept art. Universal is just killing it. And there's nothing to suggest that Epic Universe is going to be anything other than an impressive addition to an already stellar vacation destination. I don't even have anything funny to say. I'm just too excited. It's just nice to see renderings of something that's not taking away the MuppetVision 3D. I'm just having a little water while I wait for the teleprompter to catch up. Oh, there it goes. Legendary Nintendo creator Shigeru Morimoto hosted a Nintendo Direct live stream to unveil the new Donkey Kong Country expansion opening in a few weeks at Universal Studios Japan. The live that's what I get for drinking water. The live stream gave us our best look yet at the minecart coaster that we've all been salivating over. There's a fantastic looking Cranky Kong animatronic, and Dixie Kong makes an appearance. Look at her. Plus, they showed off some of the food stands, merch stores, and even some of the games, including the letter tiles from the Donkey Kong Country game. Collect them all to spell Kong and get a free life, which is really going to come in handy when I literally die from happiness setting foot in this place. The best part? It's pretty much exactly what we'll be getting at Epic Universe when it opens, and I can't wait. Expect full ride footage to be all over YouTube next month when the upgrade to Super Nintendo Land opens in Japan next month. And maybe I'll even write next month a few more times in this paragraph. This week, Disney Cruise Line christened the newest ship in their fleet, the Disney Treasure, and invited press on board to preview the boat ahead of its maiden voyage in December. I guess there was some mix-up with my press passes because I didn't get them. Am I not good enough journalist for you? Is it all those fake quotes I'm always making up? In response, a made-up Disney PR guy said, if you stop making up fake quotes from us, then maybe we consider giving you press passes. Also, this is an incredibly lazy joke. It all looks amazing. The new ship is nearly 1,200 feet long and can accommodate 4,000 guests. That's way more than my Airbnb can handle, probably because my Airbnb is a backyard tool shed and the Disney Treasure is a cruise liner. The most premium room is the Epcot-influenced Tomorrow Tower Suite, and oh my God, just look at it. I guess I'm going to start planning an Ocean's 11 style caper to be able to afford to stay in this thing. The suite can accommodate 8 people, so grab some friends and start working on elaborate plans to rob a bunch of casinos. But let's be honest here. The only thing I give a shit about is this haunted mansion parlor. Whoa. I don't even know where all that salty language came from. Ooh, it's shocking. This bar is where I want to live. Look at it. And so many specialty cocktails, including a margarita with a glowing Haunted Mansion logo. You think I won't drink that? You're darn right I'll drink that. There are also a ton of alcohol-free offerings that I will promptly stumble past as I partake in my 13th foggy margarita. You better believe that my night is going to end with me falling overboard because I'm going to become one of those happy haunts on that boat. You better believe that. During the christening, Disney CEO Bob Iger announced that they plan to double the size of their fleet to 13 ships by 2031. And since 13 is an unlucky number, expect at least one of those ships to sink. Also, if they're doubling their fleet to 13, that means that somewhere there's just a half a ship floating around. That's just how math works, Bobby. Also, please don't punch Bob Iger. I don't know how many times I gotta say it. Hey, who wants to do some lightning round? Lightning Lane Premier Pass is now available to anyone staying on property at any Disney hotel because nothing says I'm trying to save money like dropping $400 a person per day while staying at All Star Sports. Universal Studios Orlando is bringing back their nighttime show, but I don't care because they didn't do one during Horror Nights, and the next time I'm down there, I'm only going to care about Epic Universe, so what ifs? Disneyland Paris got the first snow of the season, which is so weird to see because when I refer to Disney snow, I'm doing blow in the tangled bathrooms. Hey, don't judge. How else am I supposed to get the energy for an intense park week? That Epcot Tower Suite on the Treasure is going to be like 30 grand, so seriously, I need 7 other people to plan this heist. Bring some rope. You always need rope in a heist. Tiana's Bayou Adventure is now open at Disneyland, completing the refurbishments of the former Splash Mountain rides in California and Florida. It's been a crazy journey, full of complaints, controversies, and so much bitching about nothing. But this has all happened before, and it will all happen again. To commemorate, let's take a look at the top 5 most controversial Disney refurbishments of all time. Journey into Imagination becomes Journey into Your Imagination. Epcot's original Journey ride was beloved for its whimsical exploration of creativity, anchored by the iconic Dreamfinder and Figment characters. They were so beloved at the time that fans didn't even complain that the Dreamfinder was walking around with his hand plunged deep into Figment's butt, which really should have been its own controversy. The 1999 refurbishment replaced them with a toned-down, science-focused ride that was criticized for being stupid, just really stupid. The actual reasons were way more detailed, but for the sake of brevity, very stupid works. There was so much backlash against the reimagination that Disney completely reworked the ride in 2002. They brought Figment back with the current iteration, Journey into Imagination with Figment, which makes sense why they'd bring Figment back. You imagine getting on Journey into Imagination with Figment, there's no Figment, it'd be disappointing. Rumors are swirling around another reimagining happening sometime in the future. Let's just hope they bring the Dreamfinder out of retirement to join his purple pal. But I don't know, maybe just kind of keep your hands to yourself this time. Pirates of the Caribbean updates the auction scene. The Pirates of the Caribbean is, as the kids say, a goat attraction. One of the last rides that Walt Disney himself worked on, it's everything that you'd expect if you put define a Disney dark ride into ChatGPT. In fact, let's try it.
A Disney dark ride is an indoor, story-driven attraction that uses immersive theming, special effects, thrills, and animatronics to transport guests into fantastical worlds. Kinda like Pirates of the Caribbean, you stupid Disney nerd.
Hurtful? I feel like that last part wasn't needed. Among the ride's many beloved scenes was the auction scene, featuring pirates selling off their plundered booty. Seems pretty benign, right? Except for the fact that they were also auctioning off women. Specifically, 2 women. A larger woman that wasn't super popular and a redhead, whom the other pirates would yell, "We want the redhead!" Oh, look at that, it's adorable. Cut to 50 years later, when I'm guessing that a Disney exec realized that they might not be sending the right message to modern boys and girls. The scene was completely reworked, and in a fan service reversal, not only did they keep the redhead, but they made her the pirate auctioneer, an empowered centerpiece of the scene. Critics still claim that the change sanitized history since pirates had very lax views on human trafficking. At the end of the day, the new scene fits seamlessly into the ride while aligning with the company's contemporary values. A modernization of outdated themes that still keeps the fans in mind. And thus, with me taking that pro-retheming stance on the auction scene, I fully expect to get a truckload of hate sent my way. Or a boatload, whatever. I said it, I like the new scene better. You can't just have human trafficking in a Disney ride, I don't know. Just doesn't seem right. Number 3, the Great Movie Ride becomes Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway, which is really hard to say. I hope I didn't write it a lot of times. The Great Movie Ride was the centerpiece of Disney's MGM Studios when it opened in 1989. I was there the month after it opened, and that ride blew my mind, especially the alien scenes. But after decades, Disney decided that they needed a new marquee dark ride. GMR fans disagreed. They argued that the ride's classic Hollywood charm was a cornerstone of the park's identity. But the ride they replaced it with just happened to be Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway, which I think I said way better than in the intro. And also, it's a ride that's even more charming than the Great Movie Ride. While there are still those that don't fully like the design of the replacement ride, you can't say that Mickey Mouse didn't deserve his first ever theme park ride. And personally, it's one of my favorites in all of Disney World. I'll say it, I am a complete fan of that dumb ride. I like it when the cars dance and the things change and I just like it, okay? Still, there are a great many that still lament the loss of the Great Movie Ride's tribute to film history, seeing it as a shift away from the park's original mission. But sometimes that's what happened, because I think the new mission is money. Lots and lots of money. Maelstrom becomes Frozen Ever After. Maelstrom was a ride in Epcot's Norway Pavilion, and at the time it opened in 1988, it provided Epcot guests with some of the only thrills in the park. A reversing flume dark ride boat. Maelstrom took riders on an adventure through the charm and beauty of the spirit of Norway. But you know what Maelstrom didn't do? It didn't feature a single piece of Disney IP. You think young kids care about Norway? Of course not. They probably don't even realize that it isn't Sweden. Honestly, I didn't know that it wasn't part of Sweden. So you would think that Epcot, a park dedicated to education and imagination, would keep it around to bring awareness to the mighty Norse culture. And you'd be wrong, because in 2016 it was replaced with Frozen Ever After. Young kids everywhere lined up to get a chance to plunge through the Arendelle waters while being serenaded by Olaf. I think it's Arendelle. I haven't seen that movie a lot of times, so who knows? There may be a correction there. Replacing the quaint attraction that explored Norse mythology and Viking history upset fans that felt it detracted from the pavilion's authenticity. Disney argued that Frozen, even though it takes place in a fictional kingdom, introduces new generations to Nordic culture. In fact, I think Disney's actual quote is, "Money. So much money? Just look at all this money. What was Maelstrom? That was one of our rides? It's hard to remember with all of this money that we're making." Number 1, Mr. Toad's Wild Ride becomes the mini adventures of Winnie the Pooh. Picture it. You're an opening day attraction at the Magic Kingdom. Everyone loves you. You're a pop culture icon. Everyone wants Mr. Toad's Wild Ride. Life is gonna be pretty sweet, right? Sure, until you're replaced by Winnie the freaking Pooh. This is a ride that takes you to hell. How metal is that? I'd say it's the most metal ride Disney ever made. Driving through the streets of London, through houses, trains, dynamite, black lights, explosions. Throw those devil horns up as you meet Satan himself. Is this a dark ride or is this an Iron Maiden album cover? You tell me. Think Winnie the Pooh ever hung with the Dark Lord? No way. That guy just bounces around with heffalumps and woozles. Not metal at all. Maybe I can see it as like 60s acid rock, but really that's pushing it. East Coast fans were outraged when the quirky, dark humor of Mr. Toad's Wild Ride was replaced with the gentler, more family-friendly Winnie the Pooh. Many felt that the original ride's charm and cult following deserved preservation. In fact, diehard fans still mourn the loss and pay tribute to the ride by traveling to Disneyland, where it remains to this day. And there you have it. 5 of the most controversial rethemes to ever hit the parks. And we've barely scratched the surface. Every ride has its fans, and there are going to be those who are sad to see any reimagining happen. Except for maybe over at Universal with Fast and Furious. Nobody cares about that. And it's gonna be something that keeps happening. Look on the bright side. When it does happen, we usually get something new and shiny. Sometimes we get something way better that then goes on to become a new classic. At its core, reimagining a Disney attraction is about keeping the parks alive. It's about crafting experiences that resonate with a new generation while acknowledging the legacy that came before. And yes, it's about making tough choices, sometimes sacrificing a beloved piece of history. Love it or hate it, reimagining isn't just a refurbishment. It's storytelling in motion, adapting to changes that are happening around us in both technology and society. In the end, we need change, even if it's hard to accept that the rides and attractions we love will eventually become nothing more than a sweet memory of times past. Change offers us new joy, new memories, and a chance to experience a ride for the first time, to see new things, to maybe even fall in love again for the first time. Who doesn't want that? The internet! That's who! So much happening out there. What an exciting time to be alive. Look at all the cool things we've got to look forward to. Whenever you start to get sad, stop and think of all the great things coming. All these experiences will be here before you know it, so use that as your compass, especially if you're dealing with depression around this time. I know it works for me. I'll see you guys next time. I mean, I won't actually see you, but you know what I mean. You know, these sign-offs always end up super creepy, don't they? I just don't know how to end it. I'm not watching you, I swear. And don't punch Bob Iger!